say with pranams to revered Maharaj, we start this and our heartfelt thank you, gratitude, everything, and pranams. Please accept it and this
Om Stapakaya cha Dharmasya Sarva Dharma Swarupine Avatara Varishthaya Ramakrishnaya Te Namaha Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Sritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu Namasri Etirajaya Vivekananda Suri Satchit Sukaswarupaya Swamini Tapahaya. So last time we saw how Master Moshe was so much enchanted by Thakur's singing. And he came back to ask whether there will be any singing again. Then Thakur said, "Nah, not today. But I'm going to Balram Basu's house. You please come there." So Master Moshe agreed. Then he went back and then he, after some time, suddenly he found that he's coming back. So what happened? He said, no, they may be very rich people. They may not allow me inside. What shall I do? Then he was, then at the time, Sri Krishna says, no, why should you think that? Just mention my name. They will take you to me. So I think some sadhus have written articles on this. Amar Naam Korbe. Take my name and they will take you to me. So perhaps, even in the very early stage, Thakur gave a wonderful assurance to Master Moshe. You don't have to do anything. Wherever you want to reach, and ultimately you have to come to me only. And to come to me, see, there may be gate, there may be Darbars, there may be other obstacles, it may be an unknown territory, it may be an unknown pursuit, all those things might be. But ultimately, what really matters is you are taking my name. If you take my name, that's it. You will be really liberated, it will be brought to me, and that's it. So, this, because rarely Sri Ramakrishna ever has said like this, to take my name, because the first person pronoun he would never ever use, very rarely. He will say, this place, a khankat. That's what he would say. But here he seems to clearly say that you take my name. So, in terms of sadhana also, to reach me, you don't have to do something unbelievable, tapasya, or stand on your head and things like that. Just take my name, that is enough. Taking my name is enough to bring you the highest kind of liberation, or the actually bringing you to me. That means that's the end of your samsara. So that's it. Then about 8 o'clock in the morning, Sri Ramakrishna went as planned to Balram's house in Calcutta. To the day of the Dol Yatra, Ram, Manmohan, Rakal, Nitya Gopal and other devotees were with him. M2 came as bidden by the master. The devotees and the master sang and danced in a state of divine fervor. Several of them were in ecstatic mood. Nitya Gopal's chest glowed with the upsurge of emotion, and Rakha lay on the floor in ecstasy, completely unconscious of the world. The master put his hand on Rakhal's chest and said, "Peace, be quiet." This was Rakhal's first experience of ecstasy. He lived as his father in Calcutta, and now and then visited the master at Dakshineswar. About this time, he had studied a short while and Vidyasaka school at Shampuku. See, many of them are being kind of introduced in the Kathamrita. So naturally, when the name comes for the first time, and if they are going to occur again and again, Master Mahesh is giving some brief outline about all those personalities. So imagine just being in his company and singing along with him kirtan can bring about divine ecstasy to such an extent. Raka lay unconscious on the floor. Of course, he was an extraordinary adhikari. He was so advanced, so qualified an aspirant. That is one thing. But even then, imagine how it is, what it was to be in Sri Ramakrishna's company, even in those kirtan sessions and so. When the music was over, the devotees sat down for their meal. Balram stood there humbly like a servant. Nobody would have taken him for the master of the house. Yam was still a stranger to the devotees, having met only Narendra at Dakshineshwar. So, Yam had remarked, the rich people, they may not even allow me, but when he saw that this is that person, I was thinking like this about him. He's doing everything. He's feeding all of them. The whole arrangements are his. But he's just standing in a corner as if he's a stranger or something that nobody would have taken him for the master of the house. So these were generally the pattern. Ramakrishna would go and he would inform those in and around to come, because many could not come to Dakshineshwar that regularly. But he would keep track. Whoever has come, who has not come. So he would give intimation, I'm going to such and such place, you come. And if they come, there'll be such extraordinary kirtan and discussions of such exalted nature, sublime nature. And then it's all over, they will all sit down, have very nice prasad, they'll all be fed sumptuously. And then people can go, and quite often Sri Ramakrishna would go to next house, someone else's place. Usually it used to be a whole day program, and then maybe in the late evening or so, you will come back to Dakshineshwar. A few days later, Yam visited the master at Dakshineshwar. It was between 4 and 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Sri Ramakrishna and he, the master and he, were sitting on the steps of the Shiva temples. Looking at the temple of Radhakanta across the courtyard, the master went into an ecstatic mood. Sitting there on the steps, see, those places are even now living with those vibrations. Just at that very Shiva temple, sitting there, he just looked across, he was in ecstasy. Since his nephew realized dismissal from the temple, Sri Ramakrishna had been living without an attendant. On account of his frequent spiritual moves, he could hardly take care of himself. The lack of an attendant caused him great inconvenience. Sri Ramakrishna was talking to Kali, the divine mother of the universe. He said, Mother, everyone says my watch alone is right. The Christians, the Brahmos, the Hindus, the Muslims all say my religion alone is true. But Mother, the fact is that nobody's watch is right. Who can truly understand it? See, when Sri Ramakrishna says that nobody's watch is right, see, all our views, opinions about religions are from the level of the senses or the indriyas only. Even those who have experienced, even those, see, generally people who talk about it have very little to do with even experience. They only heard here and there or might have read some books and this and that. So that is why people from that standpoint they discuss, which is absolutely nothing. For example, even if you take somebody who has realized, that's why Thakur somewhere else would say, Brahman is the only thing which has not been made uchishta. Because nobody can, it's not possible, because the beginning of spirituality is the realm beyond the senses, Atindriya Jagat, or a transcendental religion. So how is it possible to talk about that from an earthly standpoint, or when you're using your senses to describe them? Obviously, it is not possible at all. So everything is definitely going to fall short of the ultimate reality or the real thing itself. So obviously it is not. Added to that, being prejudiced, being narrow-minded, and all that, it only worsens the case. Obviously, those who are saying that my religion alone is true, obviously they have no idea what other religions mean, or even their own religion, they are unable to explain to the fullest extent. Because anything that you express, anything that you explain is going to be far less than the actual truth of the reality, because it is avang manasa gocharam, it's beyond mind, beyond speech, etc. Beyond mind. But mother, the fact is that nobody's watch is right. Who can truly understand thee? But if a man prays to thee with a yearning heart, he can reach thee through thy gaze, through thy grace, by any path. So that was why, his emphasis was always on experience. One real idea which Thakur Swamiji brought to the spiritual world is that religion is realization. Only through realization you can understand what the truth is, what religion is, what God is, what ultimate is. Everything possible only through realization. So that's why it was very easy for Sri Ramakrishna to harmonize religions. He said, yes, all the experiences lead to the same truth. Experience and see. Nobody can challenge it, because he never said from the point of view of discussion or theology or philosophy they are same. No. From the point of view of experience, all are same. You go there, experience, and then deny, let us see. So obviously he was standing on a very strong grounds. And he says, if with a yearning heart you pray, you can reach the mother. By thy grace, by any path. Ultimately, God's grace is absolutely necessary for any spiritual realization. That's what he always used to say. Mother, show me sometime how the Christians pray to thee in their churches. So he was so keen, so curious to know how the Christians would pray in their churches. But mother, what will people say if I go in? Suppose they make a fuss. Suppose they don't allow me to enter Kali temple again. Well, then show me the Christian worship from the door of the church. Because whatever he says, mother generally gets it done. He has never been denied any request by mother. So if he says, let me go and see how the Christians pray, if he enters inside, then it can create a huge commotion. The Christians may not welcome it. And much worse, people in the Dakshineshwar temple, they say, no, he has lost his religion. He can not come to Kali temple. What will happen? Suddenly he remembered. He said, show me from the door of the church. From outside, let me see how it is. Another day, the master was seated on the small couch in his room with his usual beaming countenance. M arrived with Kali Krishna, who did not know where his friend M was taking him. Which Bolane, without telling, he brought somebody where he is taking. He had only been told, if you want to see a grog shop, then come with me. You will see a huge jar of wine there. So he himself had felt that intoxication. So he'll be completely immersed in that feeling, in the spirit, in that atmosphere. It can be so intoxicating. So you'll find a huge jar of wine there you come. So his friend was looking very curious what kind of grog shop he's talking about. Yam related it to Sri Ramakrishna, who laughed about it. The master said, the bliss of worship and communion with God is the true wine, the wine of ecstatic love. Mother, he always used to say, that's how he was always intoxicated. Worship of and communion with God, worship of the Divine Mother. The goal of human life is to love God. Bhakti is the one essential thing. To know God through jnana and reasoning is very difficult. So, although Thakur himself had practiced all the paths through which the ultimate can be reached. Largely in many places you'll find, particularly in the Kathamrita, where it was all recorded by Master Moshe. We really don't know what exactly he said to Narendranath and a few other future monastics. In amongst them also he told something very special to Narendra, which even others did not have occasion to know about. So you would always say according to your capacity, your predilection, the best path for you. So he says bhakti is the essential thing. To know God through jnana and reasoning is extremely difficult. See, one of the things is, in jnana there is no via media. Either this or that. There is nothing in between. You cannot say I will have a little of jnana and a little of world also. That's not possible at all. When you say neti neti and you reject it, you have to reject it completely. You cannot say I will have all these things and also no. But whereas bhakti gives you a lot of scope, concession. You can love God. Supposing you want to have nice rasagulla, you can offer it to God and take it as prasad. Many things are possible because bhakti takes you slowly according to your capacity, what you can do. Whatever you do, that's why in Gita Bhagavan says, Salpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhyat. Even a little of it would relieve you from that extraordinary fear, that great fear. So the idea is to encourage, do something, attempt something, don't sit quiet. Yeah, the point is if you accept the path of jnana, if the world is unreal means unreal, there's nothing in between. Whatever you say, wherever you turn your gaze, whatever comes into experience, everything has to be mercilessly rejected as unreal and impermanent. So how it is possible to function in the world? If you're a true jnani, it's not possible to do anything in this transactional world at all. Because it doesn't permit any compromise or any such idea. You have to reject means reject. As bhakti, yes, you can tell God, I'm not really worthy of worshiping you. I don't have enough devotion. So Master Ramcha says, you can pray to God to teach you how to pray. I don't know how to even pray. So anything is possible once you accept that idea of an Ishta or a superior God or a goal of life like that. Then using that we can try to advance. Wherever one might be, whatever might be one's difficulties, shortcomings, one can always pray that please guide me, please allow me that so that I can be part of it. I can do all that. So that much is permitted. That's why he says the path of jnana and reasoning is very difficult. It's possible. It is easier through bhakti. Particularly he says in Kali Yuga, where people are, see, in the earlier periods, one can do tremendous sadhana, putting the body to extreme situations. Such intense tapasya. Says in Kali, we are so much dependent on food. Annagata pran. It's not possible to do that kind of intense austerities, intense tapasya. So it's better take the God's name and then afterwards, wherever he goes, there will be good distribution of prasada towards the end, making sure that no one is hungry. He himself says, religion is not for the empty stomachs. Who is there that can understand what Mother Kali is? Kali Kamun. Even the 6 darshanas are powerless to relieve her. All the Shadadarshana and others, there's a lot of description about the higher truths and all that. Yet, they also fall short of the highest. Why? Because the songs, the philosophies, the writings, they all come from the level of the maximum mind and intellect only. The truth which is beyond mind and intellect, how can be fully described through mind and intellect? There's a contradiction. So it's not possible at all. Because the ultimate truth is beyond all that. yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasasaya. The speech and etc., they go back, they come unable to go beyond, reach that state. So, all that is described in all the philosophy, etc., they are less than the highest, obviously, because they have come at the level of the senses, at the level of the mind, nothing beyond that. So, but the actual truth, the transcendental truth, is beyond body and mind. So, obviously, it cannot express or describe in full the highest truth, namely Mother Kali. The master said again, the one goal of life is to cultivate love for God. The love that milkmaids, the milkmen, and the cowherd boys of Vrindavan felt for Krishna. So, in several places, Thakur talks about love for God. In different places, when he talks about Vyakrata, he gives one kind of description. There's another kind of description he gives. Here he says, the love, see what kind of love for God, what intensity, with what purity, what unadulterated, avyabhicharini bhakti, as they say in Sanskrit. There is no adulteration there, absolutely pure. The love that milkmaids, the milkmen, and the cowherd boys of Vrindavan felt for God. There was a spontaneity in their love. It was not based on any understanding by the buddhi or calculation, nothing. It was simply spontaneous, total, uncompromising, total love for Sri Krishna. When Krishna went away to Mathura, the cowherds roamed about weeping bitterly because of their separation from him. So it was not even, that love was not even the cowherd boys to Krishna. They just treated him as their playmate. It was not even the idea that he was superior, was a great God, all powerful, can give so many wounds and so on. It was never that kind of an estimation. It was absolute intimacy of the highest order, treating him as their playmate. So naturally, when their friend was no longer there, they were weeping so bitterly that way. Some tremendous kind of attraction, which was indescribable. Saying this, the master sang, his eyes turned upward. Just now I saw a youthful cowherd, the young calf in his arms. There he stood, by one hand holding the branch of a young tree. Where are you, beloved Kanai? He cried. But Kanai scarcely could he utter. Ka was as much as he could say. He cried, where are you, thou brother? And his eyes were filled with tears. Couldn't even say fully the word Kanai. Word Ka, he said, and he was completely lost in tears. So much was his sorrow, it was indescribable. When Yam heard this song of the masters laden with love, his eyes were moist with tears. See, that is the power of Sri Ramakrishna's company. The person who argued in the first meeting about Nirakara, but again and again professed to Thakur several times, he prefers the non-dual aspect of reality. But it was so intoxicating and so much it moved his heart. He was, his eyes were moist with tears. He did not understand. Perhaps he did not even have that kind of inclination towards a particular form of God as Krishna and all. That was not his cup of tea at all. Not that he was thinking of Krishna and he was simply charmed by the descriptions and then those images and scenes came to his mind and talked. Simply the way, the intensity, the pain that Sri Ramakrishna, the pathos which he could sing that song. See, when Sri Ramakrishna used to sing those songs, he would virtually transport himself into one of those cowherd boys. It was as if he was one of those who had lost Kanai and was weeping for his reunion. That kind of exact, that feelings. He would really become that. So when he saw his anguish, tears came to his eyes. Such was the power of Sri Ramakrishna's singing. Another day, it is April 2nd, 1882. Sri Ramakrishna was sitting in the drawing room of Keshav Chandra Singh's house in Calcutta. It was 5 o'clock in the afternoon. When Keshav was told of his arrival, he came to the drawing room just to go out, for he was about to call on a sick friend. Now he cancelled his plan. So like that, sometimes Sri Ramakrishna would arrive unannounced. See, in those days there was no mobile, or quite often it may not be possible to even inform. But suddenly, if he feels a tremendous urge to see somebody, he would go unannounced. Because even if he's not there also, Sri Ramakrishna doesn't matter. Sometimes somebody went and waited so long in Shivana's place, he didn't come at all. But Maharaj Thakur was not upset. He simply spent some time in the company of devotees there, waited, he didn't come back, he returned. It takes a chance. He says, you have so many things to attend to. You have to edit a newspaper. You have no time to come to Dakshineshwar, so I have come to see you. Thakur was so fond of Keshav. He says, you don't have time. You are busy with the newspaper editing and you have so many other things to do. So I have come. I have come to see you. Because he used to, in fact, Samar he says, and he became sick, I prayed to Mother, Mother, with whom shall I go and talk to in Calcutta if Keshav is not there? With that kind of feeling for Keshav. When I heard of your illness, I think what he says, I vowed green coconut and sugar to the Divine Mother for your recovery. In Bengal, there is a famous custom, dark chini. Green coconut and sugar, and probably I think in the tender coconut they add sugar and then they offer it to sweeten it. So I vowed green coconut and sugar to the Divine Mother for recovery. I said to her, Mother, if something happens to Keshav, with whom shall I talk in Calcutta? Sri Ramakrishna spoke to Pratap and the other Brahmo devotees. Yam was seated nearby. Pointing to him, the master said to Keshav, will you please ask him why he doesn't come to Dakshineshwar anymore? Master Keshav was very distantly related to Keshav, probably. So Thakur is complaining to him, why is he not coming? He repeatedly tells me he is not attached to his wife and children. Perhaps he says that he is so involved in samsara, he has no time to come to Dakshineshwar. But he often says he is not attached. Still he is not coming. Yam had been paying visits to the master for about a month. It was not a long acquaintance. Since such a short time, Thakur considered him as so close and as one of his antarangas. Even if his absence for about a month or more, he felt so disturbed. Why is he not coming? Sri Ramakrishna had asked him to write to him if his coming were delayed. Supposing you are not able to come, you are supposed to write to me. But even that is not even informing me. I was really upset. Pandit Samadhyayi was present. The Brahmo devotees introduced him to Sri Ramakrishna as a scholar well versed in the Vedas and the other scriptures. The master said, yes, I can see inside him through his eyes, as one can see the objects in a room through the glass door. When there's a glass door that enters the room, one can clearly see what is inside. So through his eyes, I can see what is inside him. Because many used to feel that way. Sri Ramakrishna could clearly see what in somebody's mind, could predict straight away, tell them. So much so, one person came up to Alam Bazar and went back. Because he became terribly afraid. Supposing he tells me in front of others, whatever is in my mind, what will happen? Then he was so upset later on. He met Raja Maharaj, Brahmananji. Then he was so upset that he couldn't meet Sri Ramakrishna. It was very difficult to kind of console him. He was so much remorseful. He said, I came so near, yet I did not have his darshan. It happened because I was afraid that he may just say whatever is in my mind and speak about it.
Okay.
Finally, it seems Rajamara said, he just said, just look at me. And he had Thakur's vision in Raja Maharaj, and that is how his desire of seeing Sri Ramakrishna got fulfilled. Trailokya sang. Suddenly the master stood up and went into samadhi, repeating the mother's name. Coming down a little to the plane of sense consciousness, he danced and sang. So they say in Chaitanya also this three avasthas, completely the samadhi and ardha bahya dasha, where this partly this consciousness and partly in ecstasy, and then bahya dasha, external world, that kind of consciousness or awareness. But Thakur also, first when he heard Trailokya was a great singer. He was in samadhi. It was so wonderful, Trailokya singing. And then when he came down a little and he danced and sang, I drink no ordinary wine, but wine of everlasting bliss. As I repeat my mother Kali's name, it so intoxicates my mind that people take me to be drunk. I'm not drinking ordinary wine. Ordinary wine produces intoxication, no doubt. But when one drinks the wine of everlasting bliss, as I repeat my mother Kali's name, obviously it intoxicates to such an extent, people take me to be drunk. See, there's a big difference, between just having a drink and being drunk. Having a drink is just tasting wine or something maybe. But then getting drunk means so intoxicated, one can lose one's sense of proportion and behavior and so on. Such intoxication. That's called getting drunk. So people take me to be drunk. Thinking it's how when Kalipada Ghosh came to Thakur after many years, initially had that story, his wife used to trouble his wife so much, she was desperate. Somebody told her about Sri Ramakrishna. She came all the way. Sri Ramakrishna sent her to mother. Oh, no, I am nothing. You go to Nahabat. She knows everything. Mother sent him back to Thakur. It went 2-3 times. She was totally puzzled. Thakur was having fun, but mother was saying, I am really nothing. He is the person. Why are you coming? Finally, mother wrote something on a bilwa leaf and gave her. Take it. And slowly from that day, it was a big transformation. Kalipada Ghosh became one of Thakur's greatest devotees. Then when he came finally to Ramakrishna, he said, this person has come after tormenting his wife for 20 years or something. Then the first thing he said was, would you like to have a drink? He was so shocked. Oh, it's available. And Thakur says, will you have Deshi or Videshi? Will you have local or should you want imported? Oh, that's also available. Then he opted for the imported one. Thakur touched him, that's all. He was weeping uncontrollably. There was absolutely nobody could stop him. He was shedding tears. Finally, Sri Ramakrishna has to touch him again to bring him back to normal senses. Not only he would go into states of intoxication, he could make others also become totally drunk. He was so capable. First, my guru gives molasses for the making of the wine. My longing is a ferment to transform it. So it's not that as it is first, in so many ways, this particularly the country wines are made in so many ways. So, from molasses To ferment it, what is the substance for fermenting? My longing is the ferment to transform. So the Guru gives a basic, maybe a mantra, something, initiates into spiritual life. It's like molasses, just for the basic stuff for preparing the wine. Then by the intensity of my longing, then it starts fermenting and transforming. Knowledge, the maker of the wine, prepares it for me then. Finally, all that has to be properly, kind of bottled and taken in a particular way. One has to. So the idea, the knowledge, after that intoxication starts happening through that intense longing, and finally, with that awareness that this gives that intoxication, then it goes deeper, prepares it for me then. And when it is done, my mind imbibes it from the bottle of the mantra. That was the thing that started the whole thing. Taking the mother's name to make it pure. Drink of this wine, says Ram Prasad, and the four fruits, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, are yours. The master looked at Keshav tenderly, as if Keshav were his very own. He seemed to fear that Keshav might belong to someone else. That is to say, he might become a worldly person. See, Thakur's intimacy, love, affection, everything would stop the moment you move away from spiritual life. Then there is no khatir afterwards. There is no entertainment. As long as you are a sadhaka, you might struggle. There may be shortcomings. There are difficulties. Everything is allowed. But essentially, if you want to be in the list in his book, you have to be a sincere sadhaka. So he was feeling that might be that he might become a worldly person. Many things happened in Keshav's life also. He got his minor daughter married to in the Kuchbihar Raj family and all that. It raised a huge controversy, and Brahma Samaj virtually split into two because it was against the Samaj customs. He did all that. So somehow Thakur had an inkling, something this person is going to bungle somewhere. Looking at him, the master sang again, "We are afraid to speak, yet we are afraid to keep still." So in a kind of dvanda, what to say, what not to say. It looks something is going to happen, but same time, we don't want to even spell out. Our minds, oh Radha, half believe that we are about to lose you. We tell you the secret that we know, the secret whereby we ourselves and others with our help have passed through many a time of peril. Now it all depends on you. What is the secret? Whereby we ourselves and others with our help have passed through many a time of peril. Many such difficult situations. You're about to lose your object of adoration, worship, anything. Now it all depends on you. Quoting the last part of the song, he said to Keshav, that is to say, renounce everything and call on God. He alone is real, all else is illusory. Without the realization of God, everything is futile. This is the great secret. The secret that we ourselves and others with our help passed through many a time of peril. How it was possible? Because of that renunciation. Renounce everything and call on God. The master sat down again and began to converse with the devotees. For a while, he listened to a piano recital, enjoying it like a child. So suddenly he can switch gears like that. And he would, from such heights of ecstasy and samadhi and in bhava and all that, and he listened to somebody playing piano, he was happy like a child. Because in 1 second he will give up and again do something else. Then he was taken to the inner apartments where he was served with refreshment, and the ladies saluted him. As the master was leaving Keshav's house, the Brahmo devotees accompanied him respectfully to the carriage. So I think we should stop here. If you have anything, any questions, you can ask.
I have a question, not question, a curiosity. During that time, Thakur's life, how did he participate? Did he participate in Durga Puja? If so, where during this?
Yeah, there are, I think, at least 4 instances or so, even in Kathamrita itself, where Sri Ramakrishna has participated in Durga Puja. There are, I think now perhaps the gospel has that index and things like that.
Surendranath's house he has gone to.
Surendranath's house he has gone more than once.
Yeah.
And Adar's house he was there once, in a very mystical manner. So there are several instances that occur. At least I think in Kathamrita there are probably 4 places where there are mention about Sri Ramakrishna's participating in Durga Puja.
Okay, thank you much. Maharaj, one more question. You said that you will remain in Thakur's book as long as you are in spiritual, you have a spiritual direction. So, so you are a sadhak.
Only sadhakas, otherwise he has no this thing for others.
So for like how do I define that for grihi people like us? What will make us, or what are the guidelines there?
So guidelines, you see, that's what, see here again, everywhere again he says the same thing. That should be, at least you must understand, the one goal of life is to devote oneself to realize God. So now, due to various compulsions, where we are, our own inability, etc., we are not able to do that amount of intense sadhana. So at least, that awareness we should keep in our hearts. We must believe that there should not, and our conviction and our ideas, there, if it is clear, yes, this is the goal of life. I'm not able to do that much. So within that, slowly, how we are able to intensify slowly. See, one cannot be, saying that, and also I'll be living the same way, or will be doing something totally anathema to such an attitude. That also would not do. So one has to struggle to the extent possible. So Thakur says, God will definitely help you, He will guide you. To take 1 step, He takes 10 steps towards you. Like that we hear many things in the Kathamrita. They essentially, honestly, when we look back, look inside, do you feel that we are a sadhak? Do you honestly believe that I am a sadhak? I am sincerely pursuing. To the extent it is necessary, I am not able to. And also, progressively over the years, does my attraction, my attachment, my desires, are they getting reduced? Honestly. Then only, that's the only answer, and that we only know. Others will not know. We alone would know. If you honestly do a soul searching, and if you feel, yes, we are no longer attracted to things as they used to be. That's why even Holy Mother says, in fact, Mother says, when you sit for japa, she says every day, first you must think, what was the state of my mind yesterday and how it is today. Do we ever realize, or do we ever do on a day-to-day basis how the mind is progressing or deteriorating? Clearly, Mother says somewhere. So if not that, at least every now and then when we really think what's our attitude, what's our drift, which way we are going, are we convinced about the ideals of life? Do you feel that is the goal of life? So if you honestly feel, yes, we will be in Thakur's books. somewhere your name will be there. May not be right at the top, but it's a huge book. Somewhere it will find an entry.
Well said, Maharaj.
Wonderful,
Thank you.
Maharaj. Very well explained. Maharaj, I have one. Are you in a rush? Can we have?
No. Yeah.
So you were talking about intoxication, and it reminded me of that term golapi nesha. I have never really understood golapi nesha. Golapi nesha and the intoxication that you were talking about today, is it the same thing?
Golapi Nesha, if you tell me the reference, I'll have to see. I am not familiar with this. Golapi, normally in other places, Thakur uses for the mistress or the wife. Golapi ke dolle hobe boche na.
Oh,
There he says, when something is to be got done, the person is not very favorable, and he says you catch hold of his wife, because they are all under. All the men, he says, somewhere he says, with such big mustaches, where they are all under the control of their wife, they sit and dance according to her. So that is, he says, you are under that adhin, you are slaves to their wives. That expression I have seen, but Golapi Nisha I have not heard.
Golapi here means Kamini, basically, okay?
Golapi means wife, actually. Wife or the person with whom you are living.
So it has nothing to do with wine or that incident.
That I have not heard this expression itself.
Eta amar confusion. Arekta point, you just lightly touched on that we have heard it many a time that Thakur Norenke je bolto, he would do it behind closed doors and what exactly Norenke boleche? Eta ki Swamiji kauke bolechen?
No, never. Never has he. I don't think he ever disclosed, because they were meant exclusively for him. But based on that, he carried out his mission on this world. That's why somebody says, even in that first Balram Mandir, when the mission was formed, there was huge opposition from Yogananda and some others. So at one time, Swamiji there, he clearly says, I have not done anything which he has not instructed me or told. Whatever I do is exactly what he has told me only. So in many ways, Thakur must have told him, but then he really did not. Because they were instructions of a very, very, very high order, very special, because they were meant to give a direction to the kind of the world itself, so to say. So it was very different.
That is never disclosed by him, not even to Rama Maharaj, not to the Rauke. This curiosity is always there, that I've heard it so many times. But has Swamiji ever died?
Yeah.
Anyone have any more questions, friends?
Namaskar.
Pranam Maharaj. There has been mention, Pranam Maharaj, Shama,
yeah.
There has been
Namaste Maharaj. Thank you, Maharaj.
Shama, yesterday, Sarda's place, there was a satsang.
I see.
So she was saying, Maharaj, we should have informed Shama. Forgot. She was anyway. Okay. You are here.
Maharaj, it has been mentioned in the Gospel that Thakur has said that go close to the Kalpataru. When you pray to the Kalpataru, you must stand close to him or just under the Kalpataru. What does it signify? What does it actually mean, being close to the Kalpataru when you ask something?
Actually, really, I don't remember where exactly Thakur says this, but generally, the Kalpataru, you are somewhere else, maybe miles away. So if you ask, will you get what is whatever you desire? See, in the instance, what Sri Ramakrishna, the story he says also, but the man was sleeping right under the tree. Then suddenly all things happened. So that means if God is the Kalpataru, means in somewhere or other, unless you go near him, unless you approach, otherwise how will you get it? So in that sense, you can't be, supposing you are sitting in your house in Pune and they say, yes, the Kalpataru, I want all that, God is Kalpataru, you no. In what way we can approach, be nearer. So
it means
talks about
intensity,
sadhana.
is it?
Yeah,
Intensity,
yes,
intensify your
yes.
sadhana. That is
Yeah,
what it.
that's
Because
how we can
yeah,
go near.
yes. I mean, asking means obviously it will be something
Yeah.
of a higher nature. But
Yeah.
I just wanted to know what that meant. Being
Yeah,
closer.
that's
It means
because
intensifying
unless
your
we do that kind of sadhana to go near God, it is not possible to feel that influence or to really get that next experience or whatever we are asking for.
correct.
That kind of.
Correct. That's true. That's true. Thank you so much.
Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tassat Shri Ram Krishna Arpanastu. Hopefully we'll see you next month, first Sunday. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
Maharaj.
you so much.
Pranam.
Thank you, Maharaj. Pranam, Maharaj. Bye-bye. Thank you, Juma.